Hi, welcome to A Taste of Oktoberfest presented by Snyder's. I'm your host, Alan Cayenne. Today, we're going to visit the Schwaben Club to try some of their traditional Oktoberfest food. Special thanks to Hefner Toyota for getting me there in style. Hi, I'm here with Susan from the Schwaben Club. Now, Susan, I understand you're a bit of an expert when it comes to authentic German food.
Well, I try to. I am past president of the Frauen Group, so I've been involved in helping to make the Schwaben Cabbage Rolls for close to 20 years.
Wow.
And also we make Krapfen when it comes to our Schlachtfest and some of our other German heritage festivals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I take my heritage from my parents and enjoy cooking at home also.
Awesome. Now you mentioned that heritage. I understand you do more than just cook here. You teach the next generation how to make these authentic German dishes.
For sure. We like to pull in our youth group or our dance groups and also share these recipes with them and help them to learn how to make cabbage rolls and different recipes so that they can carry on that heritage.
That is awesome. That it becomes all about the family here at the Schwaben Club.
For
you
sure.
even have a cookbook, I've heard, that you've put some of those recipes in so they make sure that they last from generation to generation.
For sure. Then they have somewhere to draw from if they don't have Oma's recipes. So.
That sounds awesome. Well, what are we making today?
Well, today we're going to make cabbage rolls.
Amazing.
Which they're always very well received during Oktoberfest. They're one of the favorites here. So.
All right, so we're making some cabbage rolls today. Why don't you tell me what we need to get started and how we make them?
For sure, I will. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a tomato sauce to put over the rolls. Okay. So what we're doing is we're putting the tomato paste and tomato juice into this. We're going to simmer that in here, and then we'll just pop the spices. We put a little salt and pepper in, and a little brown sugar to give it nice flavor. You don't want it tasting too acidic or anything like that. You just want it to have a nice flavor. So we're just going to simmer that up, and by the time we have the rolls ready, it'll be ready to put on them.
All right, so we got the sauce on the go, so it's gonna simmer up nicely for when we're done making the cabbage rolls.
Sure.
So we're gonna move on to making the cabbage rolls.
Right.
So what do we have on the table in front of us here?
Well, we have the cabbage, we have the spices that are going to go in with our meat, and we're going to use half beef and half pork.
Okay.
We've got a little bit of hot sauce in water and some egg. So that's just out of a carton, but you can use regular eggs if that's what you have. We always cook the rice ahead of time so that you know that it's already soft and it's going to mix in easily. So we need to get our cabbages going. So what happens is we core it right down so that the leaves come off nicely. Okay. And usually we have, when we're making the cabbage rolls for Oktoberfest, we're going to make 2,000.
Oh, wow.
So we have a number of cabbages, and we get some of our gentlemen to come in, and they actually can use a drill or whatnot to drill them, because this is a lot of work.
There you go.
We use flat cabbages because they're more tender than the thicker regular cabbages. So we're just going to pop that in a pot of boiling water, and it's going to do its thing.
All right, I like that tip about the drill to speed up that process.
Yeah.
I guess maybe you're not making 2,000 cabbage rolls at home and you don't need that drill, but
exactly.
If you are, that's a great tip.
Exactly, yeah. And when you're making one or two at home, you can easily do it with a knife. And if you only have the regular cabbages, they just take a little longer to cook. The leaves are a little thicker, and they'll need to boil a little bit longer. But we find these speed up our process a little bit when we're making that many cabbage rolls.
Perfect.
So then we're going to put everything in here.
All right.
So we're going to mix up our seasonings here, and we have paprika, and we have garlic powder, we have onion powder, This way, if we mix it together, we know everything is well mixed and we don't get clumps of one type or another. Pepper, salt, and seasoning salt. So those are all of our spices that go in. And as I said, we can mix them together here. So now we're going to take everything. Now what we have here is probably enough meat to make about 64 rolls.
Oh, wow.
This is about 5 pounds of each. We're not going to make that many today. We're just going to make a smaller amount for the purpose of what we're doing. And you can gauge your meat accordingly. If you're making a small batch, you just scale down. As long as you have half and half, then you're going to get the flavor.
So why the half and half when it comes to the meat?
You need that little bit of fat from the pork and the flavor. You get just a different flavor than beef, just beef.
Okay, excellent.
Makes them juicy and makes them flavorful.
Ah, that's what we want.
So everything else here is going to go in. And you need enough moisture because you don't want them to be dry. You want them to be nice and tender. So if you can imagine, when we're making 2,000, we have a bin about 4 times this size.
Oh, wow.
We have probably 30 to 40 pounds of meat, and it takes some real good arm exercise.
Yeah, I bet you get your workout in during Oktoberfest.
Yeah, we put the men to work again then also. So we're just boiling until the leaves come away nicely. And the cabbage is tender enough that we can roll it and whatnot. So something like that, where we'll be able to roll a cabbage roll out of that, where it's tender enough. See, these are coming off very nicely. Yeah, these are very nice.
All right, so our cabbage is done boiling. What's the next step?
So then we take the leaves that have come off of the cabbage head and we trim them. So you see there's always a vein here on the cabbage. So we cut that off and we maybe trim any odd parts off so that we have a leaf. And we don't have to worry if it's a little bit broken. We can tuck that in and make it work.
All right.
So we just do this with them, trim them up a little bit. And then we'll be ready to roll. Well, we need to make our rolls of meat first, and then we'll be ready to roll them up. So there, we've got a few there, and we've got a few more ready. These are looking a little dark because we had boiled them a little while ago, but these are the fresh ones. You can see how nice and green they are.
Okay, so it seems everything's prepped now, so I guess the next step is to actually make the rolls?
Yes, so now we're going to make the rolls, okay? So we take the meat and, you know, just sort of a nice little handful.
Okay.
Not too big. It's always been sort of a debate. That one's too big, that one's too small. But we usually get them all pretty much the same in the end. So, yeah, so we just... when it looks a little bit like there's too much, we just take a little bit off. So we just make them nice little roll shapes.
All right.
You want to take a crack at it?
Sure. There we go. Sure, it's no, that looks a little big there.
Yep. And make them look like little
how's
footballs.
that one?
Yeah, that's
All
pretty
right,
darn good.
perfect.
Excellent. We might have to recruit you.
Oh.
We could give you the date we're making cabbage rolls, and we could maybe recruit you to come
right,
and
I'll
help,
add it to my
'cause
calendar.
You're doing a good job.
Okay, so it looks like we have everything ready to go to roll the meat in the cabbage. And we got this pan set up here. Why don't you tell me about this pan we got going on?
Sure, I will. What we do is some of the trimmings from the cabbage that we can't use, we'll coat the bottom of the pan with that, and just a little bit of water. Just we want them to stay moist, and we don't want anything on the bottom to burn or anything like that. So it's like a little bed for the cabbage rolls to sit on.
All right, let's get our roll on.
All right, let's get rolling then. So what we're going to do, and maybe I'll just do it right here. we're going to take a leaf. And this poor leaf has got some holes in it, but we won't worry about that. We're just going to tuck it all in. So we're going to start it out, tuck in the sides. This is kind of like, you know, making, there are other ethnic foods that look like this when you're rolling them. So there's our first roll.
Oh,
nicely, and you put that little edge on the bottom. I'll make one more, and then I'm going to let you make me one.
Ooh, okay.
And again. And this is why we trim that vein, because we want it to roll nicely. We don't want that to stop us from getting that.
All right.
All righty, so here we go.
Oh, that's a good leaf.
That's
Thanks for giving me the starter leaf.
A really nice leaf it is.
I don't have to work with the pro leaf here. All right, so we get that over here,
yes.
and then we want to fold the
tuck
sides.
In, yep,
and
tuck in your sides for sure.
And then we give it a nice little roll.
Yes. Excellent.
There we go.
Hey, excellent. Like I said, you are doing a great job.
Maybe I will be here next time we make it.
There you go. Make another one. I'll make one too.
All right. Okay, Susan, so we've had the sauce simmering. Now, ideally, how long do you want that sauce to simmer for?
It usually simmers while we're doing all the other preparations, so it could be an hour or two. You know, we just like it to all the flavors to come together nicely.
Awesome. So now that the sauce is simmered, the cabbage rolls are prepped, what do we do?
We're going to put enough sauce on them so that while they're doing the cooking, they're all nice and flavorful and covered. So.
All right. So once they're in the oven, about what temperature are they at? How long are they cooking for?
About 350, maybe 375. A pan like that, you would cook them for a couple of hours, I would think.
Okay.
Like I say, we cook them for about 2 hours when we're prepping them. So then, or even you could have them simmering in there for up to 3 hours if you're getting them ready for your meal that night. So you just want them to be bubbly and well cooked through.
Awesome. Oh wow, those look amazing. Now it's time for my favorite part.
And that's to have a taste.
Exactly.
Super. All right, let me scoop them out.
Oh. Prost.
Prost.
Dig in.
Yes.
Oh, wow. The fork just cuts right through it. That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
Are they good? I'm a little slow.
So good.
Excellent.
Oh, wow.
I want to say how flavorful these are with your favorite Oktoberfest beverage at the fest hall, and enjoyed by many.
Thanks again, Susan, for those delicious cabbage rolls. Now, for those of you at home, you can come into the Schwaben Club and enjoy them, or I understand you have a takeout option now.
Yes, that's right. We're offering them. You can call the club and you can order a pan to take home and enjoy with your family.
All right, well, thanks again to the Schwaben Club and you, Susan, and to all you at home, Prost. Thanks for watching A Taste of Oktoberfest presented by Snyder's and proudly sponsored by Hefner Toyota. Also, huge thank you to the Schwaben Club for that amazing food. Check out Oktoberfest.ca for more videos like this and all your Oktoberfest information. Auf Wiedersehen!